Switch 2! Because, I have people that give me things. Anyways, welcome to what is essentially a restart of our Breath of the Wild Let's Play, because I want to capture things at higher quality and whatnot. I don't have the means to record at 4K, though. Mark does, but I don't. New game. I swear, the 60 FPS actually makes a huge difference to the gameplay experience. It really makes getting perfect parries a lot easier. And now that I say that, I'm going to be beamed in the face by a dead guardian.
Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Wake up, Link.
Was I sleeping in the tub again? Ugh, I gotta stop doing that. It's like the Firestarter movie, or whatever. Some pyrokinesis person sleeping in the tub so they don't burn everything around them. I don't know, I haven't seen the full movie. I only saw, like, a bit of it on TV once. It's all dusty in here. Ooh. It's so buttery smooth, like the new Joy-Con control sticks. And yes, I'm aware that Joy-Con 2s have started drifting on people. Unfortunately, because they're using magnets to secure the thing, they can't use Hall effect sticks. Because Hall effect sticks use magnetic force.
That is a Sheikah slate. Take it. It will help guide you after your long slumber.
It's totally not a Wii U gamepad. Sheikah Slate, a mysterious tablet with a glowing center. You've never seen this device before, and yet there's something familiar about it. By the way, I'm deciding to play split Joy-Cons for reasons that will become obvious at a certain point. Well-worn trousers. These old trousers are threadbare in spots, but they're surprisingly comfortable. The legs are a bit too short, though. Equip weapons and armor another gear with the plus button. Yeah, well, we'll do that after we get the old shirt. A thin shirt made long ago. It's coming apart at the seams, but it's better than nothing. The sleeves are a bit on the short side. And organize that. Put that shirt in my pocket while it's on myself. Look at this pedestal.
Hold the Sheikah slate up to the pedestal. That will show you the way.
Scan it like a credit card. Authenticating. Sheikah slate confirmed. By the By the way, even games that don't have Switch 2 editions or updates will still have improvements when played on the system, as long as they're compatible.
Link, you are the light. Our light. That must shine upon Hyrule once again. Now go.
The reason for that is because, while it's not 100% hardware compatible because it's using a translation layer, which is kind of like emulation, to simulate Switch 1 code, or what it does is it makes Switch 1 code readable by the Switch 2. The games still have access to the Switch 2's beefier hardware. So any game that has, like, unlocked frame rates or variable resolution scaling will hit, like, their maximum resolution and their maximum allowed frame rate much more often. Even if a game is, like, capped at 30 FPS, it'll at least hit that more consistently, which is something that the Xenoblade games do. And there's an old man down there. Hiding in a cave. Also, just one thing I remember them talking about when they were developing this game is that there was an image of Link, like, squatting on a hill looking out towards these, like, split dual mountains in the distance, and they were like, we wanted to, it was like, back then you could only really showcase that in, like, artwork, but we wanted to actually show that in the game itself. So, you know, that's kind of cool that they could do that. Take this branch. Wooden branches such as this are pretty common, but it's surprisingly well balanced. Doesn't do much damage, but it can serve as a weapon in a pinch. Press Y to swing your weapon. This is weird for Zelda that has always had B as swing your weapon, even on gamepads such as this, but it's a new age. We want to walk carefully because you can see there's a beetle right there on that tree, and we will want that for the future. Bladed rhino beetle. This beetle's razor-sharp horns demand that you handle it with care. Boil the horns alongside monster parts to concoct an elixir that will raise your attack power. Land shroom. A common mushroom found near trees around Hyrule. Eat it to restore half a heart. Kinda almost looks like the super mushrooms from Mario, actually. They even got, like, little spots on them. Like, you can see, like, little white spots. That's kind of cool. I think that might be intentional. Here's another branch. Change weapons. Press and hold right on the control pad. And then switch with the right control stick. There's a butterfly. We'll want that for later, too. And it... Prick! It flew away. Oh, more bladed rhino beetles. Birdies. One time when I was doing a practice run, there was a boar that spawned, like, right between these trees. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to really hunt him.
Link. Head for the point marked on the map in your Sheikah slate.
I got this a bit early. Actually, I think it was because I was, moved too fast, I scared it. So, that is my current destination. Not really much of a map, though. Yeah, if you make too much noise, you can scare the bugs. But we want to collect the bugs for Lators. Got 3 tree branches. It's good because they break very easily. That's a common criticism about this game, and while I definitely understand where people are coming from, and I do kind of agree, at least to a point. Is that a butterfly sitting there? Or no, that's a lizard. Those can also be found on trees. I scared it, but I was able to get it while it was running. Hightail lizard. A lizard found throughout Hyrule. It's a bit slow to react at times, but if given a chance to escape, it will dart off quickly. Cook it, blah, with monster parts for a speed-boosting elixir. Apple! Common fruit found on trees all around Hyrule. Eat it fresh or cook it to increase its effect. Climb the tree link. Thank you. Hello, old man. Ho ho! Well met, stranger. It's rather unusual to see another soul in these parts. Who are you? Me? I'll spare you my life story. I'm just an old fool who has lived here, alone, for quite some time now. What brings a bright-eyed young man like you to a place like this? A place like what? Where are we? Answering a question with a question. That is fair enough. As I cannot imagine our meeting to be a simple coincidence, I shall tell you. This is the Great Plateau. According to legend, this is the birthplace of the entire kingdom of Hyrule. Point. That temple there. Long ago, it was the site of many sacred ceremonies. Ever since the decline of the kingdom 100 years ago, it has sat abandoned, in a state of decay. Yet another forgotten entity, a mere ghost of its former self. I shall be here for some time. Please let me know if I may be of service. Ooh, what's this? Baked apple. Direct heat has softened and sweetened this apple. Eat it to restore 3/4 of a heart. I beg your pardon? I do believe that is my baked apple. You can't just go about taking whatever you please. Oh, forgive me. I could not resist pulling your leg. Please help yourself. An apple and an open flame make for a succulent treat. What about this torch? This torch will stay lit once ignited. But if you put it away, the flame will be exhausted until you light it again. Well then, just help yourself to that torch there. And how, may I ask, are you planning to use it? To set things on fire! That is rather unnerving. Please be cautious with that around any dry grass that might catch fire. You know, there are plenty of monsters in this area. That torch would make a good weapon, if need be. However, do not just swing it around without purpose. You must face your opponent and lock your sights on them. Press L to lock on. I don't think I noticed that torch before. Woodcutter's axe. The woodcutter's tool of choice for felling trees. Its formidable weight and uneven balancing make it a slow, inefficient weapon. Throw a weapon. Hold R. And this is why I'm doing split Joy-Cons, because it's a lot harder to just whip that around when you're, Whoop. Whoop. I can just, twist my wrist like that. If I want to, turn around. Apple! Unlike Dragon's Dogma, I can actually jump up and grab apples. Haha. Speaking of grabbing things, let's go swimming. Now, since we don't have any other gear, if I remove this and go in my just go in my boxers, I swim faster. And you are something I want to get. That bass hole. No, right there! Hyrule bass. An ordinary fish that can be found all over Hyrule. It can be eaten raw, but cooking it amplifies its healing benefits. I thought I saw another Hyrule bass, but alas, it was just reflection on the water. One good tactic for fishing is to try to corner them. We will come back to that ring at some point. I think I'm too far from land to get up. Glob! And I lose a heart for doing that. Great. Good thing I've got some food on hand. I will need these Hyrule Basses for later, so I wanted to get them now while it was the most convenient time to do so. Nothing in there. This is a dead guardian, which we can get parts from. The part, I think, is randomized. I got an ancient gear, which is a rarer part, which is nice. It would be nice if I can sneak up on this bokoblin. I could never do this in practice, because bastard would always turn around at the wrong moment. But if I can sneak up... Ah! Well, that made him drop his Boko Club. But let's use another tree branch. I have limited inventory, so I might as well use up my weaker weapons first. Bokoblin Horn! The severed horn of a bokoblin, a creature often encountered on the plains of Hyrule. It isn't edible, but it can be tossed into a stew with some critters to make an elixir. Stew is an interesting word to use for that. And up here... another bokoblin! You, sir, win death! Did he have any weapons or anything on him? Ah, there we go. Boko Club. We're gonna join the Boko Club. Hawaiian trousers! Traditional dress trousers of Hyrule. The plush fabric makes these trousers quite comfortable, and their high durability make them ideal for travelers. Equip that. We've got upgraded pants and better defense stats too. Whoop-de-frickin' doodaloo. Now, the thing about destructible weapons is that the way I personally see it is that it's sort of a resource management thing. And I kind of see it that way in any game that has degradable equipment. How games go about that resource management property is different for each game. Now, for this rock, do not push it straight down like this. It won't work. You want to push it on the side here. And then it'll hit those, go kablooey, and look at that. Killed some bokoblins without having to use up any of my resources. Resource managed. Or resources managed. You can also just, pick up an object and chuck it at them. Go the old Donkey Kong route. Those are bokoblin archers, and they pretty much stay looking that exact direction the entire time, which makes them ideal victims to sneak up upon. I got boko clubs and a torch. You know what? Let's go with the torch, just because I want to show this. Keep looking that way, dumbasses. Your brains are full with molasses. Keep ignoring me. Do 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 do. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Boom boom boom. Boom, boom, boom. Sneaky, sneaky link. He's a sneaky sneak stonk. Don't turn around. If I wanted to, I could lure them with, some meat or something, and that would distract one even while I'm doing this to the other. And that pretty much killed him instantly, because a sneak strike gives you an 8 times damage modifier. Boko bow, a basic bokoblin bow made of wood. It's made by taking tree branch. It's made by taking any tree branch and just tying a string to either end. So don't expect much in the way of combat effectiveness. Blech. Press ZAR to draw your bow and again to fire. And I'm gonna bash your face in and take your bow. Arrow! A bundle of 5 common arrows. The shafts of these arrows were carved from wood of a sturdy tree. That guy down there has a shield and a more effective weapon. Headshot! Hit an enemy's head with an arrow to perform a critical hit that deals 2 times damage. Traveler's Sword. While it's more effective than our Bokoblin Club. I don't think I've ever read this. A crude Bokoblin Club made to clobber small prey. It's essentially a stick, so its durability is low. Hey, almighty stick! Traveler's Sword, a very common sword, often kept by travelers to fend off small beasts. It's fairly durable, but a bit unreliable against monsters. I want to keep that in my inventory for later. Boko Shield, a Bokoblin shield Created by attaching a handhold to any flat tree I thought I felt a burp coming on. Sorry about that. Any flat tree bark picked up off the ground. It's pretty shoddy, so don't expect it to last very long. Press the lock one button to basically block with your shield. Oh, we finally reached the frickin' glowy point. Place the Sheikah slate in the pedestal. And Link's like, okay. I guess I click it in like so, and okay, I guess that worked. Sheikah Tower activated. Please watch for falling rocks. There might be a star above you. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. I don't know if that was intended as a reference, but it could have very well have been. And now the animals are like, what the hell is going on? Run away! Oh, great. The bokoblins know we're here. Well, it's pretty hard to miss that, and speaking of mist, there's a bunch of mist around the plateau. And the towers rise from the ground. Oh, my back. The hell? Great Plateau Tower. Distilling local information. It is so weird that it creates this tier thingy. Kinda looks like the normal Sheikah tier. Tier's the Sheikah. Huh. Now it looks like a map. Regional map extracted. Here is your slate.
Try to remember. You have been asleep for the past 100 years. When the beast regains its true power, this world will face its end. Now then, you must hurry, Link. Before it's too late.
Well, that seems rather ominous. Well, okay then. There's a weird misty pig monster surrounding the castle. I'm sure that's perfectly normal. Zip. They make these footholds here so that you can get down, but one time when trying to do a practice run or something, I ended up accidentally falling off. What'd you just call me? My. It would seem we have... Yeah, my. It would seem we have quite the enigma here. This tower and others just like it have erupted across the land, one after another. It is almost as though a long-dormant power has awoken quite suddenly. If you do not mind me asking, did anything odd occur while you were atop the tower? I heard a voice. Well now. A voice, you say? And did you happen to recognize this mysterious voice? No, not really. I see. Well, that is unfortunate. I assume you caught sight of that atrocity enshrouding the castle. Well, enshrouding the castle. That is Calamity Ganon. 100 years ago, that vile entity brought the kingdom of Hyrule to ruin. It appeared suddenly and destroyed everything in its path. So many innocent lives were lost in its wake. For a century, the very symbol of our kingdom, Hyrule Castle, has managed to contain that evil, but just barely. There it festers, building its strength for the moment it will unleash its blight upon the land once again. It would appear that moment is fast approaching. I must ask you, courageous one, do you intend to make your way to the castle? I do. I had a feeling you would say that. Here on this isolated plateau, we are surrounded on all sides by steep cliffs with no way down. And also instant teleportation missed even if you did get down safely somehow. They thought of everything! If you try to jump off, well, no death could be more certain, or more foolish. Of course, if you had a paraglider like mine, that would be quite another story. Paraglider? Ho-ho! Piqued your interest, have I? Yes, I didn't come soaring down here on my own feathery wings, you know. I'm not a Rito! Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bop. Worry not. I will happily agree to give you my paraglider, but not for nothing. Let's see now. How about I trade it for a bit of treasure that slumbers nearby? The isolated plateau. Press plus to open your adventure log. After 100 years by Calamity Ganon, your advice, paraglider, old man said give it paraglider to the kids. Come, let me show you something. Sorry if I pulled an Aaron Hansen on that text there, but it was recapping shit we already knew. It says like blah, 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 blah. Do you see that structure there? The one shining with the strange light. It began glowing at the exact moment those towers rose up from the ground. I would think such a place might house some sort of treasure, wouldn't you? Treasure for the paraglider. A fair exchange, I believe. Okay, well, I guess I better get going. No. You didn't see me. Turn around. Turn around. Every now and then I want to sneak into your camp and kill you all dead. Turn around. Every now and then I want to make sure that you don't see me at all. Turn around, Bokoblin. Now I wish you would actually turn back the other way because now I'm ducked down and you can't see me. I have to land a headshot. Gotcha! If I didn't get him, he would have sounded an alarm that would have alerted everyone. However, it will be kind of difficult to sneak up on the camp because they are facing literally every direction and it's not nighttime, so they are not sleeping. But I can take these arrows, this bow. I can get up on this watchtower here. You have a bow, so You gotta go. Were you chucking rocks at me? And dead. Clearing out this camp nets me that skull treasure chest. Change shields. Press left on the D-pad and then use the right joystick to flick through the shields. I can't be in bow mode, though. Bokoblin Fang, a tooth obtained from Bokoblin. It's worn down and not very sharp, but it's still pretty hard. Cook it alongside a critter to make an elixir. Oh yeah. I can pick up some of the arrows that miss their marks. I could bash open these crates with my weapons, but that would take durability. That's not going to work. I could use this to sit and pass time at the fire, but I'm not going to do that right now. I can also use this to cook, but we'll explore that later. Traveler's Sword. I want to make sure that I have at least one of those intact by the time I leave here. Let's get down to my swim trunks. Let's get down to my swim trunks. You can catch hot-footed frogs here, but it might be a little bit difficult at this point in the game. Let's just make it to this island to recharge my stamina a little bit and jump back in the water. And then dash, dash, watery dash. Get our clothes back on. And we have arrived at our destination. And because we have extra money to spare with the DLC, got a ruby, precious red gem mined from large ore deposits found throughout Hyrule. Rubies contain the power of fire and have fetched a high price since the ancient times. And if this were Tears of the Kingdom, I could combinate it with other things to make fiery things. But it's not Tears of the Kingdom, it's Breath of the Wild. Shake a slate confirmed. Whoops. Didn't mean to skip that. I was trying to advance the text, but it... the thing opening. Okay, going into here now. Bye. Take that, Metroid elevator? Tips and tricks. Check the screen for hints that'll show that... Okay. Load times are much faster. And that's not just because of the power of the... To you who set foot in this shrine, I am Oma-U. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I offer this trial. Magnesis trial. Oman-Au shrine? Anyways, it's not just because the system is more powerful. The system uses a new type of... Sheikah Slate Authenticated Distilling Rune. Uses a new type of internal memory that is essentially... It's essentially almost like an SSD in the thing. It's not really an SSD, but it might as well be, considering how small those things can actually get. Magnesis. Manipulate metallic objects using magnetism. Grab onto a metallic object using the magnetic energy that pours from the Magnesis rune. Objects held in the magnetic snare can be lifted up and moved freely. We're going to extract it. Press L to use a rune from your Sheikah Slate. Anyways, this is also why the Switch 2 requires the micro SD Express cards. Because games on this system are made with that read-write speed in mind, that sort of SSD-like read-write speed. And so you need to have micro SD Express cards because they also have similar rewrite speeds. To make a console parity. Boink! You just bonk him on the head. Ancient spring! Ancient screw. A screw used in ancient machinery. It's made of an unknown material. And no matter how many times it's turned, its threads never seem to show signs of wear. Ancient gear. Gear used in an ancient machine. Despite being incredibly old, its build quality is leaps and bounds above anything built using current technology. Ancient spring. A spring used in ancient machinery. It is light and buoyant enough to float on water, and no matter how many times it's compressed, it never loses tension. Anyways, got a bridge here. Press A to activate the thing, dummy. Place that there. Tears of the Kingdom was basically said, this, but with literally everything. Not just metal. Traveler's Bow! A small bow used by travelers for protection. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it can be used to attack foes from a distance. Open Sesame! And... touch! You have proven to possess the resolve of a true hero. I am the creator of this trial. I am a humble monk, blessed with the sight of the goddess Hylia and dedicated to helping those who seek to defeat Ganon. With your arrival, my duty is now fulfilled. In the name of the goddess Hylia, allow me to bestow this gift upon you. Please accept this spirit orb. Orb! Spirit orb, a symbol of courage given to those who have overcome the challenge of a shrine. May the goddess Hylia smile upon you. If you're going to skip my cinematic, wait till I'm about to dissolve. Because this cinematic is masking a loading screen, and if you skip it, it stops the load and then has to start loading again. Will you stop calling me that? It seems you managed to get your hands on a spirit orb. Well done. Paraglider, please? I encourage you to slow down for a moment, my courageous friend. The appearance of those towers and the awakening of this shrine. It is all connected to that Sheikah Slate. No, it is all connected to that Sheikah Slate you carry on your hip there. Blech. For some reason, I thought Sheikah Slate was like a full stop to the sentence, and then my brain was like, there's another part of that, dumbass. It is all connected to that Sheikah Slate you carry on your hip there. What do you mean? It has been quite some time since I have seen that Sheikah Slate. Long ago, a highly advanced tribe known as the Sheikah inhabited these lands. The great power of their wisdom saved this kingdom time and time again. But their ancient technology disappeared long ago, or so it is said. It is interesting, however, to think how something like that survived all this time, hidden away in a shrine. These shrines are tucked away in numerous places all across this land. On this plateau alone, I believe there are still 3 more. Bring me the treasure from each of those shrines, and I will give you my paraglider. That wasn't the deal. Oh? Well, I suppose I changed my mind. Pray I do not change it any further. I'm sure that won't be a problem for a young go-getter like you. Since I'm feeling generous, I will teach you a trick for finding shrines. It's always best to survey the area by looking around from a high point. Let's see here. How about you make your way to the top of that tower again? Are you joking? Ho ho ho. Ho ho ho. I'm afraid not. But do not worry. I have another little trick to share with you for your effort. Take a look at the map on your Sheikah slate. See those blue icons? You should recognize the cave where you woke, the shrine you came from, and the tower. You can travel instantly to any of those places with the Sheikah slate. Or so I've heard quite some time ago. I do not know if it actually works as such. Hero's path has been unlocked. I can press X to see how I've traveled. Yes, I'm aware that there's treasures and whatnot in the water. I'll get them later, but I want to kind of get this little tutorial thingy over with, and boop! How the hell? I even have faster loading times, old man! I'm surprised it took you so long to catch up with an old man like me. How did you... Oh, leave an old man to his secrets. Now then. Alright then, Hobo Santa Claus. I wanted you to join me up here so you could use this as a vantage point to search for shrines. Did you know about the scope on your Sheikah slate? Look through it, and you can stick a pin anywhere you'd like to mark on the map. Click in the right stick to pull up the scope. Look around and press A to pin things. The pins on your map serve as reference points for your travels. Just stick a pin anywhere you're interested in. How do you know? Experience, wisdom, instinct... Call it what you will, and believe it only if you so please. Go ahead and take a look if you feel so inclined to do so. Having trouble finding the shrines? Help me out here. I just remembered something that may help you. You can review the abilities you've learned on the pause screen. Check controls, save, and adjust game options, blah blah blah. If you're searching for shrines, use the scope on your Sheikah slate. You have to get that bit of advice from him or he won't start appearing in other places, and I want him to start appearing in other places. Sure. Mm-hmm. There's a shrine. There's a shrine. And... there's a shrine. And now we're going to work back here. Taking advantage of those faster loading times. Perfect guard with a shield equipped, press A. Okay. I didn't really get a chance to... I can actually read that faster than that if I'm like reading in my head. It's just reading out loud. I can't. I can do that to break it and get a roasted bass. Fishing for treasure. Yoinker sploinkers. Got an amber. What is shining over here? Hyrule herb. This healthy herb grows abundantly in the plains of Hyrule. Cook it before eating it to increase the number of hearts it restores. Hello. I don't think I've noticed you before. You get out of there. Oh. There's Hyrule Bass in here. Opal. And that Hyrule Bass is somehow dead. I don't know how it died, but you can take dead fish. Remember that for later. I would have caught my Hyrule Bass here if I'd realized that this pond carries them. Destroy these crates like this to get whatever goodies they have inside. This is a magnesis boulder. Not every boulder is magnesisable, but some are. Let's try to get the lizard. And we're going to go into the forest over here to do some game hunting. Link's getting a bit on the hungry side. And besides, I'm going to be needing meat later. And this is probably the best time to do it. That seems like a suspicious rock that I will just be ignoring for now. I'm aware of Koroks. We will go after Koroks in the next episode. He saw me and ran. And scared off another boar. You can get headshots on animals just like you can on enemies to kill them faster. With this bow, it takes 2 shots to kill, and the stronger Traveler bow still takes 2 shots to kill. Silent Shroom! A strange mushroom that glows softly in the forest at night. Cooking it into a dish unlocks the nutrients in its cap, resulting in a meal that will allow you to move stealthily. Very nice. I can also hunt burbs. Burbs give burb meat. Ah, daggone it. Yes. We got raw meat obtained from animals in the plains, in the forests. You can eat it raw, but cooking it will make it more delicious and nutritious. And you can make recipes. Speaking of which, someone's got a fire going. Ooh, got a critical hitical in that guy. And my bow broke. But I got some meat. Ain't that sweet? Stamina shroom. A green mushroom that grows near trees in the forest. It's chock full of natural energy. Cook it to release its stamina restoration properties. And Halayan shroom. Ah, sometimes there's Someone's got a fire going over here. More shrooms. Torch. Another torch. Arrows. Traveler bow to bestow the bow that I broke. And you. Well, well, well. So we meet again. If I came here earlier, I think I would have seen him walking from that arch over to here. What are you doing over here? My back is aching. I clearly need to take a little break. Say, courageous one, are you hungry? If so, please feel free to use my cooking pot to whip up a snack. If you need to start a fire, just light your torch on that campfire over there. Got any tips? Simply open your inventory, grab hold of your ingredients, and toss them in. Try to consider how the ingredients will complement one another. If you play your cards right, you may even end up with a dish that can help protect you from extreme cold. It's all about being creative and trying different things. Oh ho ho ho! Now, you can light just about any wooden weapon on fire, but torches do not lose durability when they're on fire. I can't really showcase that here because I already used this for a sneak strike. However, only a torch has that particular lighting animation when it's lit on fire. Any other weapon, he would swing it and that guy would be like, "Whoa, what the frick, man?" So, when cooking things, different items have, hidden stats on them. So, this stamina shroom has, a point to stamina restoration and whatnot, and the effects of the cooked items depends on the accumulated points of everything that you've thrown in the pot. I only have one of these, so the effect won't be very good. Energizing Mushroom Skewer. The more stamina shrooms that I put in there, the more stamina wheel that will recover. Instantly refill some of your stamina wheel. This simple mushroom skewer has colorful presentation thanks to thank for its appeal. I can also mix this and meat to make meat and mushroom skewer filling dish, but grilling various mountain ingredients with meat. Still have meat, still have fish. Steamed fish. Okay, Future Sai here. I just wanted to show what happens when you cut in here earlier. Well, 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 so we meet again. What are you doing? Can you not see that I'm hunting here? You'll scare off my prey like that. At least crouch down a bit. So, yeah, he's just hunting. Shh! Quiet now. What are you doing? Quiet, please. I'm still hunting. Got any tips? First, crouch down and then approach. So, when you're close enough and that detection is imminent, draw your bow. Aim thoroughly and you should be able to take down your prey with a single arrow. Courageous one, I see you have taken possession of my old bow. Splendid. Now let's see what you can do with it. I'm rather tired. Yes, I think I'm going to go lay down over there. Or something. So, yeah, if you come here earlier, you can find him by that tree, and he teaches you how to hunt. And then you can take him down in a single hit. It's just telling you that if you get a headshot, you can get a critical hit. I thought I had gotten a headshot there, but no, you ran off. Come back, Mr. Boar. Can at least pick up my arrow that I missed with. And, yeah, alright. Alright. I want to save my ingredients for stuff for later. However, while I was hunting, I did notice a bokoblin camp over here. And it's nighttime. Which is the best time for this. And a wild boar just went into their camp and woke them the frick up and got them all riled up. Frickin' fantastic. My archer is so autistically focused on that damn boar. He keeps waking up the other pig people. Pigs hunting pigs. I can interrupt his horn blowing. And now, I can sneak around this camp while everyone is asleepified. And 8 times the damage. 8 times 2 is 16. That is more than the health you have. Ding dong, camp is dead. More meat. More arrows. I can't get that bow, but I've got a Batar one. Another shield. Arrow fired from the damn archer trying to kill the stupid boar. Horn. And what, pray tell, is in here? Opal. Great. Because it's night, these fireflies have appeared. And I'm going to be needing them for a later side quest, so it might behoove me to catch some of these early. Sunset Firefly! These fireflies glow gently in the dark when cooked with monster parts. The compound that creates its glow results in an elixir that will allow you to move more quietly. For whatever reason, things that glow at night give you stealth buffs. Isn't that weird? I find that weird. And bokoblin. And skull bokoblins. One trick to these guys is that you can hit them with a headshot from pretty much any bow and they just instantly crumble. But you have to hit the head. And I think this was the Boko Club that I've been using. Okay. There might be more stemella shrooms or something that I could find, but for now, I think I've exhausted these woods. So, let's go back to the tower. Zoop! Hi, load screen. Bye, load screen. He's still here, but if I didn't tell him to help me out here, if I didn't ask him to help me out here, then he wouldn't have appeared at that camp. He also doesn't appear at that little camp at the start of the game. I've actually tried that. Let me see if I can... Ah, okay. Yeah. It's funny how you can just end up in this little hole here. Ah, I thought I was actually going to die there. Like, they try to space these evenly, but because of where that hole is placed, it's very easy to just fall into the stupid hole. Link go in the hole. There's a bokoblin camp over there. At this hour, they would still be mostly asleep, but even if they weren't... Keese. These bat brains only come out at night. Go away. Keese wing, wing of a Keese. It's covered with a very short, sharp fur. It's not much use by itself, but you can mix it with critters to make something useful. You know what? I shouldn't be using up my good bows on you guys. It literally doesn't take much. I can also bash them apart with a weapon and then hit the head. But doing a headshot right away is just faster. And less time consuming. Well, faster and way to be redundant, me. Yeah, of course. Anything faster is less time consuming. Duh. You don't notice me. They're not asleep anymore. But they don't know that I'm here. Oh dear. Do-do, do-do, do-do. And we want to cut that rope. And kabloom! Keese eyeball. Rare material dropped by a defeated Keese. Yeah, that's fun to look at, but it doesn't seem to have much use at first glance. But it might be good for something. Where do you think you're going? Also, I find it ironically easier to hold a single Joy-Con steady with just one hand than using two hands to hold a frickin' grip thingy steady. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because I have armrests. I don't know. Maybe it's because You would think two hands would be more steady, because you'd have two hands to help steady things. Bokoblin guts. Rare material obtained by defeating a bokoblin. It convulses on its own every now and then, which is really creepy, but perhaps has a use. What they call guts, that is a heart. Those are the heart valve thingies coming off of that. That is a heart. Spike Boko Club. Reinforced bokoblin Club. Get that out of here. Put that away. That Boko Club is on fire. This Spike Boko Club is still pristine, even though it was on fire. Fire arrows. A bundle of 5 fire arrows. Fire arrows break apart on impact, igniting objects in the immediate area. Incredibly effective against cold things. Yeah, press that to draw a bow, then press and hold left and that to switch arrow types. So like that. If you're fast enough, then you can pull that out before he actually draws the bow, which allows you to get things out even if you don't have a bow currently equipped, because like your current one broke or something. So that's good to know about the bow. Ho ho ho. There's our next shrine. And a whole bunch of dead guardian robot thingies, all ripe for the plundering. I want to plunder you and get an ancient sprung. Let's plunder this one up here. Get an ancient scra. Let's go plunder this one over here, see what I get. Oh, he's still active. Well, fortunately, there's a way to deal with these guys. Press A to deflect an attack with your shield right before it lands for a perfect guard. I swear 60 FPS makes that so much easier to get. Ancient shaft, a machine part used in ancient machinery. It's incredibly sturdy, and it's not made of any recognizable material. It may come in handy someday. No matter which way you approach this shrine, you will have to deal with one of those. Also, there's a chest up here. Actually, there is a way that you can avoid them if you go a very particular route, but they are strategically placed so that you're likely to stumble into them. Nintendo Switch shirt! Expansion Pass bonus! A shirt with a Nintendo Switch logo on it. It's a rather rare find, so wear it with pride. What? No Switch 2 shirt? Oh well. We be stylin'. Don't skip the thing. There. That's what you miss when I skip the thing. You've already seen me go down the elevator, so I can skip that. Bomb barrels. Shoot a fire. To you who sets foot on this shrine. In the shrine, I am Ja Baiji, in the name of the goddess Halia, for this trial. Bomb trial. Ja Baiji? Jabij? Sheikah Slate authenticated. Distilling rune. Watery download. Dripified. Remote bomb. A bomb that can be detonated remotely. The force of this blast can be used to damage monsters or destroy objects. There are both round and cube bombs, so use whichever best fits the situation. Rune extracted. Press and hold up to, and then flick through it with the control stick, the right stick to change runes. By the way, even though it says R, you can also use the L and R buttons, or ZR and ZL. So you don't actually have to use the stick. I should have mentioned that before. That has its own recharge. However, this has a separate recharge from that. And once you know that, we are about to preserve a lot more resources. Traveler's Claymore, a basic two-handed sword, often wielded by aspiring adventurers. Its immense weight can knock enemies shields right out of their hands. Your inventory is full. Alright. You, go away. I want this. And kabloom. I'm just going to drop that. Let that carry over. Kabloomy. I'm going to need that for an upcoming puzzle. That ball bouncing there is not actually used for any puzzles. I know later on those orbs are used for puzzles, but I think that one specifically is just there as a sort of light tutorial to teach you that these can fling things. So I can make it over here, grab this amber. You gotta be very alert of your surroundings to grab those things. Place bomb in a hole. And then wait for the bomb to be launched. And kabloom! Oh. Wow, that actually got like all of them. Except for that one in one go. There are certain weapons that you can use to break these blocks without having to use bombs, but we don't have any of those yet. I didn't have to do a twofer with the bombs. Your resourcefulness in overcoming this trial speaks to the promise of a hero. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I bestow this spirit orb. I'm going to skip the animation for like everyone except for the last one that I get. May the goddess smile upon you. Wait for it. Wait for it. Now skip. If you skip any earlier, then it takes longer to... And there's that. You're going to notice that as a reoccurring theme with all of these is that every shrine basically has something that allows you to use its shrine item right after you get out of it. Let's see, will I mess this up? Yes, I did. Good thing I have more Boko shields. Bonk! Boko shields are easy enough to get. And now we can loot this for an ancient gear. And loot you for an ancient screw. And frickin' butterfly just flew away. I didn't even see the damn butterfly. Ancient screw. And if you try to approach from this way, like if you were going the other way and came to this shrine like last or whatever, then this little doohickey right here is waiting for you. Damn it. It is definitely easier at 60 FPS, but it doesn't mean that it's easy. I did that better in practice, but I was also probably less distracted. Oh well, let's play curse, or whatever you want to call it. That's my excuse. This place is a regular guardian graveyard. And I just buried the last remnants. I wonder if that rock is a Korok. We will focus on Koroks in the next episode. This episode is all about shrines, killing monster nests wherever I happen to find them. Or, not monster nests, ooh. I saw that. Bird egg! A fresh bird egg necessary for making dishes such as omelets and crepes. You can snag them from birds' nests if you're sneaky. Nutritious and delicious. Perfect for cooking. Do 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 ba do ba do ba do 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 ba do ba do do. Got some bokoblins sitting by a fire over there. And what looks to be a beehive there, and that beehive is a collectible material. But we don't want to deal with the bees. Also, kind of don't really want to deal with the bokoblins either. So, I've only got 2 arrows, so I gotta make this count. Knock that down, and the bees will chase the bokoblins! Get out of here, you stupid bokoblins! And I can just run over here and grab the coarser bee honey? Okay. Honey straight from the hive is chock full of nutrients. Cooking this into a meal unlocks the potential of these nutrients and provides a stamina recovery effect. Ooh, I actually didn't know that because I never really read that. Heh. You don't have your weapons! That guarantees they won't pick up their weapons, and if I wasn't full on weapons, I could just grab them. And also, now that I have bombs, I can do that and just bomb the crates. And while that bomb's recharging, I can do that and bomb that crate. It does cause their content to just go everywhere, though. Acorn, often found on the ground near trees. Squirrels adore this nut, so you may have competition while foraging. Add one to a meal for a nutty seasoning. If you happen to hunt a squirrel, that's all they drop. You don't even get meat from hunting squirrels, you just get their acorns. I was going to say something else, and then I was like, Mike, don't say that. Even if that's not what you meant, that could be misconstrued. Apple-ish apples. Link climbs walls like the Arisen climbs monsters. That is a very weird thing. Unfortunately, Link can't climb monsters like the Arisen can climb monsters, and the Arisen can't climb walls like Link can climb walls. Imagine if Link and the Arisen did the fusion dance. I can climb everything! Rushroom. A mushroom that can grow almost anywhere, but prefers ceilings and sheer cliffs. Cook it before eating it to temporarily increase your movement speed. I will need 55 of these for a particular quest, and I will need more of them for upgrading materials. Mushrooms shall not be cooked under any circumstances. And there is an enemy camp down here. I have 3 arrows. I should probably use a traveler bow just in case I frick up my shot. Actually, you know what? Oh. That time I kind of wanted him to see me, but... Boom, baby! And that's how you clear out camps without using up much durability. Just going to loot all this looty loot. Replace some of those shields that I lost. What you got cooking over here? A seared steak, raw meat cooked over an open flame. Cooking it has increased its flavor and the number of hearts it provides. Why, I don't mind if I do. Throwing spear. Inventory is full. Well, dag flabbit, get rid of that. Throwing spear. A specialized spear weighted to excel at as a throwing weapon is perfectly balanced to be thrown farther than your average spear and able to pierce targets from a great distance. Mushroom. Kaboom. Now, one way to knock down these tree hives is to just blow them up, which blows up all the bees. But if I did that earlier, I wouldn't have shown you the bees, chasing off the bokoblins. And I forgot to read the bomb arrow, a powerful arrow designed to destroy monsters. The explosive powder packed into the tip ignites on impact, dealing massive damage to anything caught in the bloost. Bomb arrows have a 50 damage multiplier unless used by a multi-shot bow where they are heavily nerfed. I also forgot to say that fire arrows will add an additional 10 damage, which is just raw fire damage. However, enemies won't actually burn unless they're standing in burning grass. Bomb arrows will also ignite grass, so they're probably just better to use than fire arrows in pretty much every circumstance. Summerwing butterfly! Finally caught one of you assholes! A butterfly found in the woods and plains of warm regions. Its wings absorb the warmth of the sun. Cook with monster parts to create an elixir that makes you feel warm and foozy. Basically, I can get a cold resistance elixir from cooking these. They're also used to upgrade cold resistance gear. Apple. If your stamina wheel runs out, you'll be too tired to do certain actions until it fills up again. Your stamina wheel always takes exactly 4 seconds to fill up, no matter how much stamina you have. The circle bar just fills faster. Farmer's pitchfork. A farming tool used to collect hay efficiently. It's light enough to be used by anyone. The 4 prongs are very sharp. It's more powerful than my throwing spear, but whatever. There's a diary here. The old man's diary. Read it. On this desolate plateau, the only pleasure that brings me comfort is cooking. And today I outdid myself. Truly, I created the perfect dish. I call it spicy meat and seafood fry. This recipe not only restores health, but also keeps me warm, even when traveling in the snowy mountains. With this dish on my side, I no longer have need of that itchy, warm doblet. Read more. I do not know how I allowed this to happen, but it seems I forgot to write down a very important recipe. I know it contained raw meat and spicy pepper. However, I simply cannot remember what else I used. My age is catching up to me. Probably a fish, since you called it spicy meat and seafood fry? Read more. Sadly, on this isolated plateau, I have only my own knowledge and memory to rely on. Still, if I did find someone who knew the missing ingredient, I would happily reward them with my warm doublet. However, it seems unlikely that such a miraculous wish will ever be fulfilled. What's this? Spicy pepper! This pepper is exploding with spice! Cook it to create dishes that will raise your body temperature and help you withstand the cold. Now let's get off the table. I did not mean to do that. Baked apple, stamina shroom. Urge to break pot rising. This is like a primal instinct that Link has. Like, pot must break. Pot lid! The lid of a large soup pot. It smells vaguely of poultry broth. Yum! It can take quite a beating before breaking. Yoinka doodles. Alright, so let's organize our ingredients. Oh, one of that, and one of that. And we make spicy meat and seafood fry. Grant slow level of cold resistance, a filling dish made by cooking fresh seafood and meat together. And throw in one of these. Actually, no, wait. Stop hold. I wish I could just remove one thing, but this isn't Tears of the Kingdom. And then cook this up to create energizing glazed mushroom. Now that, my friend, is stamina recovery. Instantly refills some of your stamina wheel. The honey in this mushroom dish gives it the sweet, complex taste and a savory finish. And the lizard ran away. Woo! Mushrooms. Let's progress this to morning. I saw him walking up here and didn't want to miss the dialogue that happens when you catch him out here chopping the tree down. I can make him walk back on. Oh, fancy that. So we meet again. What are you doing? I thought this tree here might make for some good firewood. However, getting the tree to fall exactly where you want it to is quite an art. The trick is to turn your hips so that they face where you want the tree to land. So, I see you found my axe. Why not help me out and give it a few swings? I'm working up quite a sweat here, but these bones could use a break. Whoops. By hips basically just means where you're facing, the tree will fall. Korok leaf. A swing of this leaf, of this giant sturdy leaf, can create a gust of wind strong enough to blow any light objects. These will sometimes fall off trees as they're chopped down. Just get rid of this. I actually want to use this for some comedic effects. I guess he automatically comes back when it's nighttime. Oh ho. Oh ho ho ho. What is it? What are you doing? This body of mine isn't what it used to be. Recovering from a bout of hard work takes a while. If you're hungry, I have an empty pot you can use to cook yourself a meal. Well, I cooked something. Wait, is that... That looks just like my signature perfect dish, spicy meat and seafood fry. But how did you... Well, I suppose that is not important. Can I trouble you to share the recipe? Well, since it's called seafood fry, I thought I would just throw some fish like this Hyrule bass I have on hand. Ah, of course, Hyrule bass. How could I have forgotten? Well done. Now please allow me to reward your culinary efforts with this warm doublet. Doublet? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It's probably French or something. I don't know. A warm pullover typically worn by mountain folk. Its sturdy fabric and thick gloves are great at retaining body heat. With that, you'll be able to resist the bite of colder environments. As for me, I know a great spicy meat and seafood fry recipe, so I can do without that warm doublet. I mean, I technically know the recipe too now. And blowing up that bird gave me a raw bird drumstick. This meat is tougher and chewier than a standard steak. Tastes better cooked. I can also use this to knock down trees. Wood. Portable bundle of wood. You can use this to make a campfire if you have something used to light it. I'm going to be needing a lot of wood. So much wood. It is probably best we get collecting now. Let's see, I'm going to need 50 for one quest, and then... Oh boy. I love how it just poofs into a bundle. Like, just... It is so, like, video gamey in the best ways. If you chop down a tree, you can use it as a platform. I dare not do that with bombs, because you have no idea how it's going to land. And balance walking across the tree. Whoosh! Whoosh! That's what I wanted to use the Korok leaf for. I just find that hilarious. It's another bomb of a wall. I can get some goods here. Another 5 fires received. So, my next destination... You know what? I'm going to chop down this apple tree. The axe actually has a damage multiplier when used against trees. However, there are no tree enemies in this game. There are in the next game, but not here. Now, I could use the stamina recovering food to just climb a sheer cliff over there, but this area with all these footholds is closer to my destination, and feels like it was intended to be a sort of soft climbing tutorial of how far you can climb with a single stamina wheel. Jumping definitely makes things go faster, but it uses up a lot of stamina to do so. If you jump with your last bit of stamina, you will go twice as high. Just wait the 4 seconds, and here we go. Let's see, I could go that way or that way. This way has 2 rush rooms, so let's go this way. If I have need of it, I do have stamina food, which I did cook for just this occasion. That outcropping gets me a little bit closer. And because, let's just use this to top it off. It's actually better to use enduring food, because that can grant you a temporary bonus stamina wheel, and anything that gives you a bonus stamina wheel will instantly refill your whole stamina meter, and give you a little extra on top. Opening the door. Going down the elevator, we don't need to see this. We've seen it once. Zhink. I could skip this too, but I kind of like reading what the monks say. To you who set foot in this shrine, I am Oa Dain. In the name of the goddess Hylia for this trial. Stasis trial. This is one of my favorite runes. The bomb rune is also one of my favorite runes. Sheikah Slate, authenticating, distilling rune. Drippy drop download. Stop the flow of time for an object. Stops an object in time while storing up its kinetic energy. The stored energy will act upon the object when the flow of time resumes. Making good use of the stored energy can move the largest of objects. Honestly, it almost kind of feels like they got inspiration from the way the stop spell works in Kingdom Hearts. The recharge time of that will depend on if I unfreeze the target early. Traveler Shield, a sturdy shield loved by many an adventurer. It is made of an animal hide and sturdy wood, and is best suited to defending against weak monsters or animals. Inventory is full white. Get out of here, pot lid. Traveler Shield. Let's see here. I'm not really going to be needing this torch anymore. Weapons still take damage when doing this. So now I can pick up the sledgehammer. Iron sledgehammer, this large iron sledgehammer was originally used for mining, but it works reasonably well as a weapon too. Yeah, especially against stone monsters, where it can have a 4 times modifier. 4 times! We're going to put that to use at a later episode. Probably next episode. Don't you worry about that. Your resourcefulness in overcoming this trial speaks to the promise of a hero. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I bestow upon you the spirit orb. Yoink, I got a spirit orb. May the goddess smile upon you. Wait for it. And now. Thanks, fading old man. And the sledgehammer should come in handy here. The amount of kinetic energy that a strike builds up depends on the weapon. It's not tied to the weapon's attack power, it's tied to the type of weapon. So, two-handed weapons give the most energy. One-handed weapons give the least energy. Actually, spears, I think, give the least energy, but spears are the fastest weapon type. That's why they're also the weakest weapon type. Climb up here and instantly cold. I love how he's like, well, I'll give this to you because I don't need it anymore thanks to the recipe you helped me remember. And it's like, by that, I know the recipe myself too, so technically I don't need it either. But, this is better than having to cook things and rely on an effect. But then again, I could use the cold resistance to, make sure that I could use other armor. Look at all of them down there. Completely unawares of the fate that is about to befallenate them from the skews. Oh, not one of these boulders. I've never once gotten one of these boulders to actually land on a frickin' bomb. On a bomb barrel. I could shoot a fire arrow, but that would cost a fire arrow and some bow durability. But choose one of those, and kablooey! They're all dead! Now I can collectify everything that they've got. Which, really isn't much of anything worth of value. But there's this chest over here. Kick. What am I, Jack Russell? 5 arrows. Oh, I suppose that'll be useful. I've also seen a blue bokoblin patrolling around here, but sometimes I can't seem to get him to spawn. Oh wait, there he is. Oh, I think one time I was here at night and he was sleeping. That's why I didn't see him. Oof! I tried to backflip away from him, but he got me. Okay, where did it make its last save at? Oh, that hardly counts as dying. What the? Okay, first of all, he one-shot at me. Second of all, Link, what the hell were you doing? You didn't backflip. You just did... I don't know what that was. Ow! Stop tumbling. Oh, I should have side-hopped. Well, I'm getting my ass beat here. These blue bokoblins have more raw attack power, and he's using a stronger weapon. Maybe I should try using the Traveler Sword. Knock this fool about. Spike Boko Shield. Don't have enough room for it. Fine, get rid of that thing. Okay, Future Sai here again. I just wanted to show that I don't completely suck at this game, and that you can do the whole flurry rush thing, which is what I was trying to do originally in this recording. This is all me, but this is also post-commentary, so... And this is also in the original 30 frames per second version because of reasons. Alright. Done. Bokoblin Guts, a rare material obtained... okay. Got the treasure you were guarding. Daggone it. Missed. That is for all the hell you put me through. I don't know why Link wasn't dodging sometimes. And one time it seemed like he just kind of like did a weird... like normal jump or something. I don't know. I was holding the button, I was pressing the button. It's not my fault, I swear. Honest. I didn't mess up, the game messed up. Yeah. Sometimes when climbing, you can press release, which I have mapped to the X button, but is by default the B button. I just have those swapped around because I'm used to using B for jumping. You can do that to make Link just climb normally. I mean, to start, like, running. That helps preserve your stamina. Even though running costs stamina, but... well, you can, like, let go and just start walking normally to recover some stamina while climbing some sloped surfaces. I was trying to do the flurry rush, but even though with a higher frame rate I can see things coming more... I can see things coming sooner and whatnot, I don't always know what the game wants from me when it comes to what it considers the last second. It's not quite the same as Bayonetta. And what the hell are you doing up here? Ah, I enjoy gazing out at the world from here. Breathtaking view. This may be the best place to get a full view of the entire plateau. Use your scope to look for shrines. When you locate one, place a pin on your map as a marker. Ah, I see a shrine, and if I had a paraglider, I would just glide down to it. But since I don't have one of those... Ow! That did not go as planned. Ouchies! So many ouchies. I'm going to go around this way, and the hill kind of slopes downwards here. That's a decent enough jump. And it's becoming nighttime. Ice geese are going to come out, and they'll also be bothered by the stalp bokoblins. I don't want to be bothered by stalbokoblins. I hate stalbokoblins. Look at them all over there having a little ruckus. I'm about to blow their parade. Random snowballs. Okay. Well, it's a good thing I didn't approach from that way anyways. Ki Namut Shrine. Kemanut? They're like, the frick is that? Oh no! We're under attack! He's just like, what the hell? What was that? Bonk! And dead. Grab up these bokoblin parts and this seared steak here. Don't hit myself with the bomb. And whatever was in that barrel just flew off the cliff. Gosh dablet. Well, that's one of the dangers of using bombs to blow up everything. Sometimes you might want to use some of that weapon durability. Or that may happen to you. Skip the elevator. Or, it shows him going down the elevator. It's like, okay. Actually, these elevators also kind of remind me of Moon Chronicles on the DS, or 3DS. To you who's up in the shrine, I am K. Namut. In the name of Goddess Hylia, I offer this trial, the Krynosis trial. It's probably one of my least favorite runes, but it is still very, very useful. All of the runes are extremely useful, actually. Create a pillar of ice from a water surface. Builds ice pillars that are very stable. These pillars can be used as stepping stones or as obstacles. Use cryonis. I call it cryonosis. Cryonis on an ice pillar to break it. This is something they don't have in Tears of the Kingdom. Although Tears of the Kingdom brought back a thing from Majora's Mask where you can just use ice arrows on water to freeze the surface. I can use these ice pillars as shields. I could also put him on a pillar. Those miniature Guardian Scout things act more like old-school Octoroks than any Octorok in any 3D Zelda game. Since in the 3D Zeldas, Octoroks basically became like the Zora replacements. Traveler Spear. Inventory is full. This throwing spear is more powerful, but get it out of here anyways. Traveler Spear. Honestly, I think this is literally the only time in the game where a puzzle like this even exists. Tooch. Shatter. Your resourcefulness in overcoming this trial speaks to the promise of a hero. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I bestow upon you the Spirit Orb. Thanks for the Spirit Orb. May the goddess smile upon you. Wait for it. He disintegrated. You've been Thanos snapped out of this world. Old man, will you stop calling me that? With this, you have now acquired all of the spirit orbs from the shrines on this plateau. Oh ho ho, extraordinary. That means it is finally time. Link, it is finally time for me to tell you everything. But first, imagine an X on your map, with the 4 shrines as the endpoints. Find the spot where those lines intersect. I shall wait for you there. Do you understand? Where two lines connecting the shrines would cross, there I will wait for you. That old man can teleport. No wonder he beats me to every location. Any old geezer says he needs to rest for his back. I tell you, old people. Always knowing more than they let on. Whoa, don't jump into the cold. Get out to... Fuck. Well, with faster load speeds, dying isn't as much of a pain anymore. Still a pain, but I can get right back to it. Opal. And that breaks the first one. And then that breaks that one. You can basically chain these to cross any body of water. You can also use it to climb waterfalls if you're feeling ever so bold enough to do so. I usually don't do that, but it is a thing that one can do, yes. Future Sai again. I just realized I never really showed off shield surfing, so, yeah. Normally this takes shield durability, but if you surf on dirt paths, snow, or sand, you lose none. Different shields have different friction amounts, lose different amounts of durability when surfing on them, and whatnot, and have different speeds. Those will all be listed when I show stats for shields. And it's the fastest way to get down. Anyways, yeah, so I just wanted to show that off because I realized that I had forgotten to cover that. And yeah, as you can see, the shield I was using took no damage. It's still sparkly shiny. I have no idea where those snowballs come from. They just materialize out of thin frickin' air. Don't do that. An ice case. Oh, joyous day. Ice Key Swing, a rare Ice Key Swing. Its frozen surface gleams attractively, but its usefulness isn't readily apparent. Do. I can just break you guys apart and then boom on the head. This is much easier when remote bombs get upgraded. But for now, that is how we shall deal with you. Bokoblin arm. The skeletal arm that keeps moving even after it's set from its body. It's kind of gross. A strap it to your back. But it'll do in a pinch. It's old and fragile, so it'll be quick to break. Blech. Also makes for a handy butt scratcher, if one needs. Oh. I'm not just blowing them up just because it saves resources. That poof they did will freeze me unless I have certain bonuses. White choo-choo jelly. A jiggly substance that came from an ice choo-choo. It's cool to the touch and squeezing it seems to relieve stress. If struck, it'll explode into a cold mist. You can drop these near enemies, then shoot them with like an arrow or something to blow them up. And then that poof effect will happen and freeze enemies as well. As I said, we need so much wood. So much wood. You would not believe how much wood we need. It really is best to get an early start on that. The sooner ooh, that was a 3-piler. Nicety nice. But yeah, the sooner we get started on wood collecting, the better. There are 2 long-term quests that need a substantial amount of wood. One needs like 30 wood, and the other needs like an increasing allotment every time. And that skull died because it fell in the water. You can get Bokoblin fangs and horns off of the skeletons. Obviously, skeletons aren't going to have guts. They've got no heart! I love how it's called guts, even though it's clearly a heart. It's not... like, it is not the stomach at all. I don't know why it's called guts. Spiked Bokobo. Upgraded Bokobo bound with animal bone to boost its durability and firepower. Its craftsmanship is sloppy, but it's light and easy to use. I'll get rid of the old Bokobo in favor of the new one. As for that sword in the ground, I really only need one Traveler's Sword. Soldier's Broadsword, a sword brandished by the soldiers who once protected Hyrule Castle. Its durable blade is well tuned for slaying monsters. Arrow. And fire arrow. I do not need that old Traveler's Sword. But I think I'll continue to use this for the time being. At least until the thing breaks. Hey, look, the trees are back. Good. I can get more wood. Those are some fast-growing trees. But considering how much wood I'll need, I am not complaining. Poof! Yoink! And poof! And get me that, and yoink, and poof! Oh, okay. It just shrugged off that first explosion like, nah, whatever, it's just an explosion. I'm just a thin little tiny tree. It's like, the hell is that tree made out of? Atom wood? Atom wood what? I don't know. Tell me that my bomb rooms aren't authorized? Yay! Dude. Yeah. Stupid white choo-choos. I love how in the 3D games it's choo-choos, but in the 2D games it's Zols and gels and bits and bots and whatnot, and it's just like, can someone tell me a reasonable difference between any of them? Because as far as I'm concerned, they're all distinctions without a difference. It's just the 3D games decided to call them choo-choos because that's what Majora's Mask called them. And we've been stuck with that designation for the 3D games ever since, even though it's very clear that they're just 3D interpretations of the 2D slime monsters. Hell, the ones in Skyward Sword even split apart into smaller ones, just like the ones in Zelda 1 will turn into 2, and then 3, and then 4. Well, actually, they just turn into 2, and they don't split any more than that. But it's very clear why that happens. And for those in the back, yes, I know there's a Korok seed here. We will deal with those in the next episode, where that will be the main focus. Ancient gear. Ancient spring. My Boko bow, my spiked Boko bow is actually my most powerful bow right now. None of them have blown the whistle yet. I keep trying to get him in his weak spot. There we go. When I'm doing a menial task like this, it's better to use weaker bow. Got a twofer! Ooh, some spicy peppers. Stamina shroom. Some Himalayan shrooms. Spiked Boko shield. mind if I do. Got some arrows. Amber. Soldier's broadsword. I guess I can get rid of that. What's in this chest? More arrows. Whoops. Almost got back all the arrows I spent on that little excursion. If you try to do that, you'll end up wasting, like, all of your stamina before you reach the top. Instead, you'll want to just take it slow and steady. Conserve your stamina. Only jump when you're near the top. When you jump with your last bit of stamina, you'll do double height. Which is more so like a last-ditch effort to make sure that you make it. Yoink. And yoink. Well, now I made back all the arrows. And to speed this up... Oh, okay. I didn't take any damage from that fall. I thought I would. Let's see. There's another enemy camp over here. I believe I'm actually pretty close to where I started the game at. He didn't finish blowing that, so they still don't know I'm here. Okay. Well, that works too. That just one-shotted everybody. I wanted to get them with the frickin' crate, because that would have been funny, but... I'm not that good at that. Oh, I was relying on the shadow. I should have been relying on the little... And then... Break the... Break the... Break the crate. Break it! Finally. Oh, come on. Okay. I think I made back all the arrows I spent. And there's more bokoblins over there. Oh my indeed. Do they not know who I am? Do they not know the danger that is about to befall them. I was about to say bestow. It's befall you, fool. Catch the butterfly. Well, they're all facing that direction. I could sneak up on one. Or I can just whoops. Oh yeah, there's no way that Bokoblin survived that fall. Not happening. Not in this or any other lifetime. Especially not with his health reduced. Oh, there goes a frickin' lizard. You can sometimes find them on trees, too. There goes an acorn. Chickalo tree nut. Small birds love these nuts. You can eat it raw for a minor effect, but it can also be added as a spice to other recipes. I was trying to get bird meat, but okay. Alright. We need so much wood. Time for our deforesting project. Knock that tree down while turning that one into wood. Poof. We need all the wood. And that bomb blast completely missed. Why waste weapon durability when you have infinite bombs? Of course, Tears of the Kingdom replaced infinite bombs with being able to just throw raw items that have different effects. Ow! Ow, 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 stop rolling. Ow! Be careful with bomb blasts. Don't blow up your face. Blowing up your face is not good. I do not recommend. Ow! Ironically, 3/4 of a heart is exactly the recovery I need after that. It's strange to have things that recover, like, oddly specific amounts of health. In older games, it would just be like, recovers, like, this exact amount of hearts, not like 1/4 of a heart, or 2 1/4 of a heart, or whatever. Poof. 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 One thing that really bothers me is that when Link's holding something, I can't jump and then toss the thing that he's holding, because if I jump, the throw button instantly goes into, like, weapon throwing mode. And I have no idea why it works that way. It makes no sense whatsoever. Like, why does it work that? Why does it work in that capacity? That it really does not make sense. Chewbacca living on Endor, or with the frickin' the freaking Ewoks makes more sense than that. That's just nonsense, man. Ooh, more wood. Call me the Onceler because these trees are going down. Yoink! I don't see no orange-furred fool stopping me. Huh. I wonder if the old man ever comes here. Once he tells you to meet him at the meeting point, he stops appearing in various... He stops appearing at the plateau. But because of the route I take, I always end up here after the... after my final shrine. So, if he does appear here, I don't know. There's another place that he might appear. Over there at the sort of dock. I'm just wondering because there's these campfires here. Oh, that little camp he has out in the woods, I didn't even know about that until somewhat recently. So, anyone playing this game for themselves, if you come up here early, I wonder if you'll meet him. Might be another way to get a warmed up. Doublet? I have no idea how you pronounce that. Ancient screw! And look, just piles of wood, just right here. And even more wood. 60 piles. There's a good chance that he might be here. It's a cooking pot. How did that not... How is this barrel not... I mean, not barrel, this box. How is this box not been... Okay. Just seared steak. I have a feeling that he might be here. Why is this whole... I do wonder about something. I wonder if you could find him here and then give him wood to, like, build up the rest of this bridge. Because something about this seems kind of suspicious. Especially since I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be, like, a tutorial on how to use these rafts. If you use the throwing button, you can direct the wind more directly. Alright. Let's get back to shore, especially since... especially since this water is cold. And I don't fancy hopping across more Cryonis blocks. Yeah, I think he might actually be here, because that right there takes us back to the temple. And I think it's more so intended that you come through there. Oh, it's soon to be nighttime. And these fools will soon be sleeping. They do not know. Okay. Go back to whatever it is you're doing. Oh, rowdiness before bed never hurt anyone. And they conveniently put spicy peppers there. I think if you just cook the spicy peppers on their own, you'll get cold resistance. You don't have to make the specific dish that he made. You're scaring the fireflies, you fools! When I was growing up, we used to call them lightning bugs, which is a cooler name, but doesn't quite have the alliteration effect. And dead. Boko's spear. A spear haphazardly carved from a large tree branch. It looks like its original intent was for skewering meat and cooking it, but it does have some combat merit as well. I'll need you for a future quest, so let's pre-stukify. Probably end up selling most of these monster parts. They don't sell for much, but if I turn them into potions, I can get a multiplier on their sell value. Let's see, I think I'm good on wood for right now, so, we'll find a new bow soon enough. But for now... Actually, let's go with that one. Let's complete the Traveler look. Boom. Oh, for... Look, I don't want to play with you guys. You're stinky and old and stupid. Mostly stupid. And dumb and mean and cruel and nasty and... Ooh. Shiny. Pretty. Shiny. Temple of Timey. Pretty, pretty, shiny, shiny, pretty, pretty, shiny, shiny. You who have conquered the shrines and claimed their spirit orbs, I can offer you great power. It appears you have claimed 4 spirit orbs. In exchange for 4 spirit orbs, I will amplify your being. So tell me, what is it that you desire? Stamina! You wish to expand your stamina wheel, yes? Yes. I shall grant you the power you seek. Stamina from the heavens! Stamina, vassal. The size of your stamina wheel has been increasified, allowing you to perform more actions before getting tired. Boink! Go and bring peace to Hyrule. Oh. The old man, will you stop calling me... How did you get up there and why are you glowy? The blessing of the goddess has made you that much more resilient, I see. Here I am. Get up here, quickly. Get over here! There's a sleeping bokoblin right by the entrance of the Temple of Tai. I'm gonna go give him some sweet dreams. And by sweet dreams, I mean death. Do 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 do. You'll never see it coming. Do 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 do. You're dead. And to complete the look, urge to break pots. It's just like this primal urge that every Link in existence has. It's like, must break pot. Must find whatever is in pot. Traveler's bow is received. I'm all stocked up on bows. I guess I can drop this not-so-pristine Traveler's bow. There we go. See, I saw a smooshed up Guardian here. I can get some free parts, which I will need for Latours. And now I can expendinate a little bit more of my Stablin' wheel to do a bit more jumps. Alright, you weird, glowing, teleporting old man. What is the deal?
Well done there, young one. Now then, the time has come to show you who I truly am. I was King Rome Bosphoramos Hyrule. I was the last leader of Hyrule, a kingdom which no longer exists.
So you're not Hobo Santa Claus? Oh, well, okay then.
The Great Calamity was merciless. It devastated everything in its path, a century ago. It was then that my life was taken away from me. And since that time, here I have remained in spirit form. I did not think it wise to overwhelm you while your memory was still fragile. So rather than that, I thought it best to assume a temporary form. Forgive me. I think you are now ready. Ready to hear what happened 100 years ago. To know Calamity Ganon's true form, one must know the story from an age long past. The Demon King was born into this kingdom, but his transformation into malice created the horror you see now. Stories of Ganon were passed from generation to generation in the form of legends and fairy tales. But there was also a prophecy. The signs of a resurrection of Calamity Ganon are clear, and the power to oppose it lies dormant beneath the ground. We decided to heed the prophecy and began excavating large areas of land. It wasn't long before we discovered several ancient relics made by the hands of our distant ancestors. These relics, the divine beasts, were giant machines piloted by warriors. We also found the Guardians, an army of mechanical soldiers who fought autonomously. This coincided with ancient legends oft repeated throughout our land. We also learned of a princess with a sacred power, and her appointed knight, chosen by the sword that seals the darkness. It was they who sealed Ganon away using the power of these ancient relics. 100 years ago, there was a princess set to inherit a sacred power and a skilled knight at her side. It was clear that we must follow our ancestors' path. We selected 4 skilled individuals from across Hyrule and tasked them with the duty of piloting the divine beasts. With the princess as their commander, we dubbed these pilots champions, a name that would solidify their unique bond. The princess, her appointed knight, and the rest of the champions were on the brink of sealing away Ganon. But nay. Ganon was cunning, and he responded with a plan beyond our imagining. He appeared from deep below Hyrule Castle, seized control of the Guardians and the divine beasts, and turned them against us. The champions lost their lives, those residing in the castle as well. The appointed knight, bravely wounded, collapsed while defending the princess. And thus, the kingdom of Hyrule was devastated absolutely by Calamity Ganon.
Ah.
However, the princess survived to face Ganon alone.
Link, you are our final hope. The fate of Hyrule rests with you.
That princess was my own daughter, my dear Zelda. And the courageous knight who protected her right up to the very end. That knight was none other than you, Link. You fought valiantly when your fate took an unfortunate turn. And then, you were taken to the Shrine of Resurrection. Here you now stand, revitalized 100 years later. The words of guidance you have been hearing since your awakening are from Princess Zelda herself. Even now, as she works to restrain Ganon from within Hyrule Castle, she calls out for your help. However, my daughter's power will soon be exhausted. Once that happens, Ganon will freely regenerate himself, and nothing will stop him from consuming our land. Considering that I could not save my own kingdom, I have no right to ask this of you, Link. But I am powerless here. You must save her, my daughter, and do whatever it takes to annihilate Ganon. Somehow, Ganon has maintained control over all 4 divine beasts, as well as those guardians swarming around Hyrule Castle. I believe it would be quite reckless for you to head directly to the castle at this point. I suggest that you make your way east out to one of the villages in the wilderness. Follow the road out to Kakariko Village. There you will find the Elder Impa. She will tell you more about the path that lies ahead. Consult the map on your Sheikah slate for the precise location of Kakariko Village. Make your way past the twin summits of the dueling peaks. From there, follow the road as it proceeds north.
Go on. Here is the paraglider, just as I promised. Yay! He's not Hobo Santa Claus, he's Kingly Santa Claus, giving me presents. An item that you received from the king on the Great Plateau. It allows you to sail through the sky. Press B while there to use it. Isolated plateau is complete. With that, you should be able to safely fly off the cliffs surrounding this area. And I think that's it. I told you everything I can. Link, you must save Hyrule. And he never appears here again. Anyways, we got a chest. Soldier's bow is received. And while I'm flying through the air, I can drop bombs. Woo. This has Opal, of course. By the way, if I go back to the Shrine of Resurrection, Amiibo rune. And go back to the chamber that I was in, I will find nothing! However, let's go to the tower. Yep. I would like to try doing some wind bombing in this LP, but I have no idea how to pull that off. We're to go eastward like he said to. Actually, you don't have to go eastward. You could go any direction, really. It does not matter. Outpost ruins. Hyrule Kingdom. Now, let's go back to the Shrine of Resurrection. Why did I have to say it like that? Yeah, exchange mass rumors. Teleportation rumors. Ancient mask. Fairy clothes. Twilight relic. Phantasm. Ancient horse rumors. Royal Guard rumors. Merchant hood. Garb of Winds. Usurper King. Dark Armor. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Wait, that's a side quest? Ah, damn it. Hopefully I don't have to play all of Torna. Well, that's going to be a long side quest. Just joking, it's just finding Rex's clothes. Anyways, There's a mysterious light here. What does it do? Tune into the next episode to find out. Woo! Bye. Oh yeah, I have these, but I don't have my crappy-ass cell phone to hook up to this. Next time, Mark will be around with Zelda notes while I scour the entire Great Plateau for all 18 Korok seeds. Toodly woodlies.